Welcome back to a little bit more Playing in the Lab, Networking with Fishstyle. In the last YouTube, we used the impairment tool, the Spirent Network Emulator, and we just did some simple Spirent test center streams through. We also did some ICMP, some filters, some delay, some loss. We're going to go ahead and play a little bit more with some more complicated filters. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go ahead and add another stream set. So we're going to add this one between 10.1.2.106 and 10.40.41.106. It's going to have a little bit more meat into the frame. So we're going to have UDP. We're going to have UDP ports. We're also going to mark the DSCP to EF. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to look at the two new unidirectional streams, and then we're basically going to go ahead and we're just going to play. Are you ready? Let's go look at the two Spirent test center streams first. So if we look here, I've already started them. So they're still doing 100 frames per second. It's still from the same two ports. So what we have here is we can see by the name, this is RTP because I was doing UDP, RTP streams. So RTP EF, these are our two simple ones from before. These are RTP EF. This is 10 going to 40. This is 40 going to 10, which means that this top one right here is the UDP that's up here. Now, if you look, there's actually this B8. Why am I showing you the B8? Let's pretend that I want to go to the S&E. I want to go to the impairment tool, and I want to impair anything with an EF in it. I wanted to pass this on to you because this surprised me, and I just want to go ahead and give this to you. So if we go to the impairment tool, which I was just in the right thing, if we go to the impairment tool, and we want to impair based on DSCP. So we're going to come here, we're going to find the diff-serve filter, and let's say that I want to go ahead and add that onto here. So we're going to add it just like before, and then what we're going to go ahead and do is anything with the diff-serve filter, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a packet delay. So that's going to go in line here. Move that up there so we know. And then anything that is not in the diff-serve filter, we're just going to go ahead and have that go right over to here, end. So the interesting thing about the diff-serve filter, and let's make this pop a little bit more, so we'll make it a 300. So the interesting thing about the diff-serve filter is when we actually open it up, you'll notice that the filter settings are, it even says assured forwarding type, 6 bits. If we look at the drop down, everything is AF. So everything is assured forwarding, just like it said, assured forwarding. So there is nothing that's a drop down where I can do an EF. So the only thing that I can do at this point in time with the Spirent Network Emulator is to do a user-defined TOS value. I was originally thinking that I would need to make this a 46. Apparently it is not a 46. So if we look at the calculator and we change this, so let's go ahead and do a clear. If we go back to the Spirent Test Center, I can tell you this B8, if we look at this frame right here and we focus in on it, and if we look at the IP, so this is the TOS byte that is in the IP header. So this is the QoS byte itself, which is in which is B8. The DSCP, let's go ahead and make that in hexadecimal. So the QoS byte itself, all 8 bits, can be represented by hex value B8. Out of the 6 bits that are the DSCP, that can be represented as 2E. Now, normally what we think of, or at least what I think of, is when I think of the decimal representation of the DSCP, I think of 46. So I put 46 in. Didn't work. But that's just the DSCP portion, which is actually just the 6 bits. If you notice, when we go back to the S&E, it wants all 8 bits because you're putting in a custom marker there. So remember B8, okay? So if we come back over here, this is a user-defined TOS value, 8 bits. So from that perspective, it's not going to be a 46. So if we come here and we go into hex mode and we do B8 and we change that into decimal mode, it's a 184. Okay, so it's a 184. So this ends up having to be a 184. And then we go ahead and confirm. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this filter. We're going to cause delay by 300 on anything that has what we view as EF, expedited forwarding, in the other direction. But from Cat9K40 to Cat9K20, we're not going to. Okay, let's go ahead and click play. And I'm doing this also just so that you can see the traffic that we're going to be impairing. So let's go back over to the Spirent Test Center. And if we look at the results, right there we see the 300. So it is RTP. It is the EF stream. It is the one that has the B8 here. It's going from 10.1.2.106 to 10.40.41.106. And the delay is this. As you can see, the EF in the other direction is not being impaired because we're not marking that. Now, the non-EF, because it didn't match the filter, is also not getting impaired. So for right now, I'm sure eventually they'll go ahead and they'll add an EF. But for right now, just remember, 184. Hope you had fun playing in the lab networking with Fishstyle.